Hello students, how are you? Today we shall begin our new chapter, that is conservation of plants and animals. The materials or conditions occurring in nature and capable of economic exploitation are called natural resources. This is the definition of natural resources. What is this? First thing, they must be occurring in nature or must be found in nature made by nature, and of which we could exploit economically, which means which we can use, are called natural resources. These natural resources are used by human beings for their survival. The human population has been increasing at a high rate, as we all know. The natural resources also being used in greater quantities because demand of this high population is increasing. Today, scientists have developed such tools and technologies that people now have a higher standard of living. This results in a great demand of natural resources. For example, we are traveling in cars or we are traveling on bike. To make them, we are using metals such as iron and aluminium, which are natural resources. So higher standard of living is causing higher demand of natural resources. Utilization and exploitation of resources at such a fast rate is definitely causing their depletion. Depletion means their decrease or their use or their ending or their decrease in their level, because nature has only a limited amount of them in reserve. Because all of them are either prepared at the birth of the earth or are made in the time period of millions of years, such as petroleum and gas and coal. Hence, at present we should be thrifty. That means miser, and not miser. We should be thrifty, using the natural resources so that there will be enough resources available for future generations. To protect the environment from harm and destruction, is known as conservation. Many measures are being taken. So, to protect environment from this higher use or exploitation is called conservation. And to conserve these resources, many measures are being taken. Substances found in nature on earth that can be used by humankind are called natural resources. Please underline this. This is the definition of natural resources. What is this saying? It means all the substances which are found in nature and we can use them are called natural resources. For example, air, water, land or soil, minerals, flora, that is plants, fauna, that is animals. These are typical scientific name for plants and animals, and sun's energy are all natural resources. It must be clearly understood that conservation does not mean that we have to stop the use of these resources completely, which means by conservation we do not mean or we do not intend to stop their use altogether, but it only means that we have to use the resources wisely and judiciously, which means we should use them when needed and in the quantity as much as we need actually. Conservation is the wise and judicious use of resources. Please underline this. This is the definition for the conservation. Wise and judicious, which means when and in whatever amount quantity is needed, only then and in that quantity resources must be used. Then it will be called conservation. The overuse of wastage of resources would lead to imbalances among the various components of the nature. Wastage of resources, for example, if we are talking to someone and sitting on our bike and keeping the bike in the start position then we are wasting the fuel. Aims of conservation. First aim is to maintain the essential ecological processes and the life support systems such as air, water, land, flora, that is plants, and fauna, that is animals. These life support systems are interconnected, interdependent, and interrelated. Interdependent means they are dependent on each other, and interrelated means they are related to each other. Hence, the deterioration of one will affect the rest of the other elements of life support system. It is just like playing game of cricket in a team. If a player is not performing well, or if he is playing bad, that will affect the performance of whole the team. So, performance of the team or performance of the other players is interrelated or interdependent with each other. To ensure the proper and planned utilization of natural resources so that these are continuously available for utilization. To preserve biological diversity, both genetic and ecological diversity. Deforestation and its causes. Forest is an important natural resource. However, the forests are under great threat. The trees are being cut to meet various human needs. The clearing of forest, cutting of trees, that means, and using the cleared land for other purposes such as agriculture or establishing population is called deforestation. Please underline this. This is the definition of deforestation: from the clearing of forest and using the cleared land for other purposes is called deforestation. Why do we clear forests? Various purposes for which trees are cut are as follows. First, building houses for the increasing population. Second, developing industries. Third, creating land for cultivation. Fourth, using wood as fuel and using wood for making furniture. Some natural causes. It is not that only we are causing deforestation. There are some natural causes also, such as forest fires and severe droughts or landslides, floods, etc. They are also cause deforestation. Now, what are the consequences of deforestation? Large-scale deforestation has resulted in many problems for mankind. And what are those problems? First is increase in carbon dioxide, temperature and pollution levels on the earth, resulting into global warming. What is happening actually? For example, in the case of increase in carbon dioxide, we know that plants use this carbon dioxide to prepare food for them. By deforestation, we are reducing the plants, and that's why there are less plants who could convert this carbon dioxide in useful projects such as food and oxygen. That's why carbon dioxide levels are increasing. Cutting down of trees on large scale has resulted in depletion of water vapor that has affected cloud formation and thus resulting in less rainfall. Deforestation decreases the water holding capacity of soil and decreases the infiltration rate of water into the ground. That's how underground water is also depleting. Decrease in the oxygen level because carbon dioxide is not being converted into the oxygen, so decrease in the oxygen level. Animals become homeless. Many animals find their shelter in or above trees. They are becoming homeless. The decrease in rainfall is leading to desertification as trees and plants die. Fewer trees result in more soil erosion. The top fertile soil is carried away by air and running water from the rain and exposing the lower hard and rocky layer, which is less fertile, because very few plants, very few flora can thrive upon them. Over a period of time, fertile land gets converted into deserts. This is called desertification. Underline this. Over a period of time, fertile land gets converted into desert. This is called desertification, and these are the reasons of this desertification. A number of useful products obtained from trees are also lost when trees are cut. For example, let me give you an example. Let us say gum. Biodiversity and biosphere. The term biodiversity or biological diversity refers to the variety of organisms, that means plants, animals and microorganisms. Microorganisms are all those organisms which can be seen only under very powerful microscope. All those organisms are called microorganisms. So the term biodiversity or biological diversity refers to the variety of organisms, that is plants, animals and microorganisms existing on the earth. Underline this, from the term to existing on the earth, this is the definition of biodiversity. Biosphere refers to the part of the earth where living organisms exist or the regions on earth which support life. Underline this also. This is the definition of biosphere. These are those regions or parts of the earth where living organisms or life thrives or exists. The most serious threat to the biodiversity loss comes from habitat destruction, that is destruction of living places of organisms. Habitat destruction takes place due to deforestation, construction of dams, cities, industries, croplands, mines and many other activities. Extinction refers to disappearance of species. Underline this. This is the definition of extinction. Extinction refers to disappearance of species. A species once lost cannot be retrieved again. In simple words, the species of plants and animals which have already been lost are called extinct species. Please underline this also. This is the definition of extinct species. What is this? This is the species this means the species of plants and animals which have already been lost forever are called extinct species. For example, the entire population of dodo, whose zoological name is Didus ineptus, a unique bird of Mauritius and New Zealand, was killed by natives for food in 17th century, and the bird became extinct. In our own country, we have similarly lost forever about 35 species of wild mammals, 95% of wild birds, and several of other wild animals, and we are losing many each year. For instance, the two-horned rhinoceros of Sundarbans are now extinct. Indian cheetah, Siberian tiger, golden langur, Himalayan quail, pink-headed duck, golden eagles, etc. have already disappeared from Indian fauna in the recent past. The extinct plants in our country are Brahmakamal and Sarpagandha. Certain species are those species which have greatly reduced in number. Their natural habitats have been disturbed, due to which these are near to extinction and likely to become extinct if corrective measures are not taken. This is the definition of certain species. And what does it say? It says that these are those species which are greatly reduced in number because of loss of their natural habitat, and they are about to extinct forever. That means we are about to lose them forever, and they will become extinct if we do not take corrective measures to protect them. These are called threatened species. A threatened species is one that is liable to become extinct if it is not allowed to realize its full biotic potential by removing the cause of threat, which may be habitat deterioration, depletion of food, overexploitation, or presence of any exotic species. Please underline this also. Exotic species means by any species which is not found there naturally, but either it has been introduced by humans or they came by their own or by accident. For example, eucalyptus tree is an exotic species of plant which is not found in India, but it was introduced by humans. There is an international body which maintains the record of certain species. It is International Union for Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources, IUCN. Short form is IUCN. Its headquarters is in Morges, Switzerland. Please underline this. This is the name of that body, and this is its short form, IUCN. Now, conservation of forests and wildlife, that is biodiversity. What are the steps to conserve biodiversity? Cutting of trees, that is deforestation, should be avoided. Avoided means we should cut them, but only if it is extremely necessary to cut the trees, then only trees should be cut. Planting of trees, and the planting of trees is called afforestation. Please underline this, and it should be undertaken. We should plant as many trees as we can do. Hunting of animals which is banned should be strictly enforced. Hunting of many animals has been banned by the government, and those laws should be enforced strictly. Illegal trade in animal skin and elephant tusks should be checked. Dependence on wood as a fuel should be reduced. Alternate sources of energy should be encouraged. That's why we hear that government is encouraging the use of LPG gas in kitchens, so we could avoid cutting the trees for the purpose of fuel. To protect the flora and fauna, protected area like biosphere reserves, national parks, sanctuaries have been earmarked. This is done where all of them are either very precious, very important, or they are about to extinct. There to protect them in their natural habitat, these biosphere reserve and national parks and sanctuaries are made, and that area is earmarked for them. Effective system of prevent and fight forest fire, because they are responsible for a large scale deforestation. So there should be an effective system to prevent and fight forest fires. Regular survey should be done to monitor the population of all species in forests. Government should make strict rules and laws for protection of forests. We all have to play a role in conservation of forests. Environment awareness programs for the masses should be conducted on a large scale. See, no law can achieve these objects until and unless we ourselves are not aware. If we are ourselves are aware, then we will not need any law, and existing law can be used efficiently. Non-governmental organization, that is NGO, should be provided encouragement to undertake conservation work. How can we overcome the problem of deforestation? Besides the causes of deforestation discussed above, there is another cause of deforestation. Trees are required for manufacturing paper, and therefore forests are cut. Do you know that for making 1 ton of paper, 17 full-grown trees are required? That is a big amount. So, do we stop using paper? No. We should therefore ensure that we do not waste paper and write on both sides of the paper. This will reduce the consumption of paper. That's why these days mostly mobile companies are preferring to send e-bill, because it saves paper, and that paper which we have used should be recycled. Paper can be recycled for 5 to 7 times. recycling of paper is a good alternative because it will avoid cutting the tree. This not only saves tree but also saves energy and water needed for manufacturing paper. See, while we manufacture a paper, we need a lot of water and we need a lot of energy to bleach wood to white and then converting it to paper. Another advantage is that the use of harmful chemicals in paper making is also reduced. Deforestation can be overcome by reforestation or afforestation. The objective of reforestation is to regenerate the destroyed forests by planting new trees. In India, we have the following acts aimed at. Now, please underline this. A question can be set from this. A question can be asked that please mention the laws which are in India to conserve the forest life. First is preservation and conservation of forest, and second to meet the basic needs of the people living in and around these are the two purposes for such acts, and these two acts are: first is Forest Conservation Act 1927 and second is Wildlife Protection Act 1972, which was amended in 1991. Now let us see what are protected areas. The protected wildlife in our country. To protect our wildlife in our country, the government of India has passed the Wildlife Protection Act 1972, which is this. Under this act, protected areas like national parks, sanctuaries and biospheres have been set up and maintained by the government. Protected areas include national parks, sanctuaries and biosphere reserves. Now, what are the national parks? National parks are protected areas reserved exclusively for the betterment of the wildlife. This is important. Please mark this. This is important. And these are established at the approval of legislature. To establish them, a legislature should be passed, and that's why this area has the legal enforceability. In such areas, any kind of activity like forestry, grazing or cultivation are not permitted and private ownership is not allowed. Which means any kind of human activity is not allowed in this national park area. Any habitat manipulation activity is not allowed in the national park. Habitat manipulation means change of the habitat, change in the composition of the habitat. The number of national parks in our country is 110, and these are spread over an area of 3,400 square kilometer, or nearly 1% of the country's geographical area, although this is very low. These are some important national parks in India. First is Kanha National Park. It is famous for tigers. It is in MP. Bandhavgarh National Park. This is also in MP. Kaziranga National Park. This is in Assam, and this is famous for one-horn rhino. Nagarhole National Park, which is in Karnataka. Ranthambore National Park in Rajasthan. Gir National Park in Gujarat. In Gir National Park, this Gir National Park is the only place where Asiatic lion can be found. Jim Corbett National Park, this is in Uttaranchal. Now, what is a sanctuary? In a sanctuary, protection is given only to animals, activities. That means animals are protected but plants are not protected. While in the national parks, plants and animals both are protected. So in sanctuary, only animals are protected. Activities such as harvesting of timber and collection of minor forest projects are allowed. Minor forest projects such as gum, honey, leaves and herbs, etc. is allowed. But there is one condition, and that condition is so long as these activities do not interfere with the well-being of animals. Which means these activities are allowed, but these activities should not interfere with the well-being of the animals, because sanctuaries are made for protection of animals. Killing, that means poaching or capturing of animal, is strictly prohibited and it is actually punishable. The number of sanctuaries in our country is 543. These cover over 1,07,310 square kilometer of area, which is 3.2% of the country's geographical area. Still, it is very low. Some important sanctuaries are given below. Jaldapona, which is in Madirhat, West Bengal. It is famous for rhinoceros, elephant, tiger, gaur, deer, sambar, etc. Second is Ghana Bird Sanctuary, which is in Bharatpur, Rajasthan. This is famous for aquatic migratory birds. Manas Reserve, this is at foothills of the Himalaya in Assam near Bhutan, and it is famous for large wild buffaloes with long horns, tigers, panthers and gaur. Taroba, it is Taroba in Nagpur, Maharashtra. It is famous for tiger. Chilka Lake, which is in Odisha, and an oasis of birds like waterfowls, ducks, cranes and golden plovers. The number of biosphere reserves are large protected areas wherein people are an important component of the system. Now, in sanctuary and national parks, people were not an important component, but in biosphere reserve, people are also a part of system. But which people? Those tribal people who are living there from the ages, from the generations. These are multi-purpose protected areas being developed to conserve biodiversity. Second, preserve ecological balance and promote conservation. And third, permit tribals living in the area to exist. Biosphere reserves thus also help to maintain the culture of that area. In the next class, we shall study about biosphere reserves in detail. Till then, enjoy, have a good day.